Every single person alive today started as a baby, and every single one of us completely forgot about it. Neuroscientists call it infantile amnesia, and the reason it happens is not what you'd expect. It's not that your brain was too young to form memories. It's that it was working perfectly and doing something far more important. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact biological reason your earliest years vanished, and what that says about how memory actually works. The memory vault. Here's the thing most people assume. Babies must not be able to form memories at all. They're too underdeveloped, right? Wrong. Studies prove babies as young as 6 months can remember a specific toy they played with if they see it again within 24 hours. So the memory hardware exists. It's online. It fires. The real problem? The filing system hasn't been built yet. Long-term memory storage depends on a brain structure called the hippocampus. Think of it as your brain's librarian. It takes experiences and stamps them with a who, what, when, so you can retrieve them later. In babies, the hippocampus is massively underdeveloped. New neurons are being generated at an extraordinary rate, a process called neurogenesis. And ironically, this rapid growth is exactly what destroys early memories. When brand new neurons flood into a circuit, they overwrite the existing connections. It's like constantly adding new pages to a book, but the old pages fall out. But wait, if neurogenesis destroys memory, why do we ever remember anything? Why doesn't this keep happening to adults? Around age 2 to 3, neurogenesis in the hippocampus slows dramatically. The library starts stabilizing. The librarian gets organized. This is why most people's earliest clear memory lands somewhere between ages 3 and 3.5. It's not random, it's neurological, the language key. Here's where it gets genuinely strange. Neurogenesis alone doesn't explain everything, because some adults report memories from as early as age 2. In some cultures, certain indigenous populations studied by researchers consistently recall memories from earlier ages than Western adults do. Why? Because those cultures talk about the past differently. They narrate childhood stories more frequently, in richer detail, with the child as the active subject. Memory isn't just biological. It's also linguistic. Language gives you the structure to encode an experience, a narrative frame. Without that frame, the experience dissolves. Think about it. When you remember something, you don't replay a video, you rebuild a story. And babies haven't learned to tell stories yet. Think about your earliest memory right now. Can you recall it clearly? Or is it more like a feeling? A snapshot? A fragment without context? That fragment feeling is because early memories lack narrative scaffolding. No language, no story, no stable memory. Now here's the twist that most neuroscience videos skip entirely. What if forgetting your childhood wasn't a flaw, but a feature? The identity paradox. Here's a question that sounds philosophical but is actually neurological. Could you have developed a sense of self without forgetting? Your identity, your sense of I, requires memory, but it requires selective memory. If you remembered every single sensory input from infancy, the data load would be catastrophic. Researchers now believe infantile amnesia isn't a bug. The forgetting cleared space for the self to form. You had to lose the raw data to build the operating system. But here's what's even more remarkable. Those forgotten experiences still shaped you. They just bypassed conscious memory entirely. There are two types of memory: explicit memory, the kind you consciously recall, and implicit memory, the kind stored in your body, reflexes, and emotional wiring. Your babyhood is almost entirely implicit. You don't remember learning to fear loud noises. You don't remember the warmth of being held. But your nervous system does. Attachment theory, one of psychology's most robust findings, shows that how you were held, soothed, and responded to in infancy directly shapes your adult relationship patterns. No conscious memory required. So consider this. The person you are today was built by experiences you will never be able to recall. Neuroscientist Patricia Bauer's research at Emory University demonstrated that early memories are encoded and then gradually lost. Not absent from the start. The brain records. Then it reorganizes. And reorganization means erasure. Another piece of the puzzle. The prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for self-referential thought, doesn't fully connect to the hippocampus until around age 3 to 5. Without that connection, there's no you in the memory. Experiences happen. They just don't get tagged to a self. And that's the final, deeply strange truth about infantile amnesia. You weren't there yet. Not the you that can remember. That version of you was still being assembled. So here's what we now know. Infantile amnesia isn't a failure of memory. It's the byproduct of a brain doing three extraordinary things simultaneously: growing new neurons at record speed, acquiring language, and building an identity from scratch. Your earliest years are not lost. They're stored differently in your reactions, your attachments, your instincts. They're just filed in a drawer you can't consciously open. Which raises a question that might be even more unsettling. If your brain unconsciously holds on to experiences you can't remember, what else is it quietly shaping without your knowledge? The answer involves something called unconscious priming, and it changes how you'll think about every decision you make.